about you, video games. This was the screenshot that was posted on my Discord server a few days ago, and many people in there took the time to fill it all out. It has about all the things you could want to know from someone if you just started talking to them about video games. The classics like favorite series, favorite soundtrack, protagonist, villain, even getting to more niche things like you hate what everyone loves or guilty pleasure. So I started reviewing people's lists on my Discord server. I wanted in on the action too, and I decided to fill it out myself. Now, while I was doing off the cuff, so I never really had time to sit down and think about it, so my answers might have been different if I had time to write down my thoughts, but all of the ones I've chosen, bar one, which should be very obvious, are things that I still agree with now. I'll leave the template in the Discord server pinned as well if you want to join in and post your one too. I think I started things off with you hate but everyone loves Dead by Daylight. Has to be 100%. I've tried numerous times to get into this game, but it seems like every time I play it with people I end up getting bullied, and that is it. No one's ever tried to teach me how to play. I've tried to play with Twilight twice. I've tried to play with Infamous once. I've tried to play with someone else, and I don't get it. I know kind of what I'm doing. There's like generators I have to do. I've tried to be the killer once. I got fucking outplayed and people get teabagging me. I don't know if there's skill-based matchmaking in that game, but I sure as fuck didn't feel it. I didn't make for a very fun time. This is the part where someone else comes and says, no, Mr. You gotta play with me though. With me, it's gonna be different. It probably isn't, okay? It probably isn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. So that's the first one. I'm gonna get that right out of the way nice and quick. Favorite villain? There's only one I'm gonna think of. The villain from Borderlands 2, Handsome Jack, is probably one of my favorite video game villains of all time. Even if I had time to sit down and think about this, this guy probably would still be favorite villain of all time. Every villain at that time before in any video game I had ever played, it was just kind of like, aha, I'm like evil Russian man or I'm evil dragon lord, and like that's it. It was a pretty one-dimensional. But Handsome Jack was like the villain where like he had a personality where like he was a bit of a jokester, because like he would kind of talk in your ear like the whole game, like because he had an earpiece where like people could talk to you, and every now and again Handsome Jack would just check in on you, and sometimes he would just be like,
I will pay you to kill yourself.
One time like he was just like eating food and he was just like, oh hey, I didn't realize you were still alive. I got a pony made out of diamonds, by the way, because I can just do that because I'm Handsome Jack.
Here you go, Butt Stallion. Say hello. Yeah. Butt Stallion says hello.
He just ends up like joking around because, right, and it makes sense. He didn't think of you much as a threat initially, because any single time anybody's ever tried to challenge him, he's killed them instantly. He's always won. So it makes sense for him to treat you as a joke initially, and then when you actually start threatening him, like a tangible threat to his intentions, that's when he starts taking you seriously.
Looking for Bloodwing? Oh, I moved her a few hours ago. Somewhere a little more dramatic.
He does things in the story to make you hate him, both from a personality perspective in the beginning, and then when he takes you seriously, he becomes a threat actually. But I didn't play the pre-sequel. I know he has a sad backstory in that, but I never played it. Even Borderlands 2 as a standalone game does a very good job of giving him a very charismatic personality where you could believe that this guy became the leader of a very powerful company.
You look at our guns, what do they offer?
Increased accuracy, stabilizers.
Class, sweetheart. They offer class. You buy from those war hippies in Malawan, the gun's named like the Fervent Gospel or the Guileless Provocateur, some pretentious crap. You get a bandit gun, they can't even spell pistol.
His personality is like dickish enough to make you hate him from the outset. His actions in the later portion of the game are impactful enough to make you hate him. He's easily top one. There's, I think, another easy one. This one is probably gonna have to be tied between two games. I think the next one I'm gonna do is tons of hours played. And I think it's a tie between two games, really. One of them, obviously. It's pretty obvious if you've listened to me talk about my video game history all my life. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which I think the golden era of Call of Duty, some people would argue, lasted from 2007 with Call of Duty 4 up until 2013 when Call of Duty Ghosts came out and everyone fucking realized this series is dog shit now. There's different arguments as to which game in the series is the best one, but I think without a shadow of doubt, it's Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 had a fantastic balance of weapons that all felt just as deadly as each other, while also having a kill streak system that was very enjoyable to use. Call of Duty is like a product of its time. That's why whenever like they remake old Call of Duties, I don't buy them. The idea in the modern day of trying to sell someone on this idea that you can play a shooting game, and if you get a bunch of kills in a row, you get these really powerful rewards that utterly change the face of the game and make it utterly unenjoyable for everyone else that is in the other team. Right now, if you played a game like that, you'd be like, well, I just leave the moment anyone gets a good kill streak. And people used to back then. But the thing was, because Call of Duty kind of had like a monopoly on like console multiplayer shooting, you had to play it. You either roll or get rolled. That's the whole mentality of that game. Even though if you're asking me, I would hate a game with that sort of gameplay where you either roll or get rolled. It just wouldn't be that fun for me. Even in Overwatch, the most fun games of Overwatch I have is the ones where it was really, really close, but I end up winning in the end. The games where I roll someone, I feel nothing. And the games where I get rolled, I just feel nothing but frustration. Back in my teenage days where instant gratification was something that I didn't find a lot of because my life kind of sucked back then, mainly because the teenage angst, don't feel too sorry for me. Having a game like Call of Duty that I could spend hours on and just completely destroy and dominate lobbies over and over and over and over again was something that I spent far too many hours doing. doing, and I would argue was indirectly responsible for me dropping out of college. But who cares, because my life turned out for the better anyway. I think the other game probably takes this as well. And I think the other one's pretty obvious. It's how a lot of the initial group of people who found me live streaming found me in the first place. But it has to be Overwatch. It has to be Overwatch. I love to trash on this game, I really do. I think Overwatch, in theory, is easily the most interesting hero shooter that exists. This idea that there's a bunch of characters that all kind of like roll together like chess pieces, and you kind of got to figure out which character works in the best scenario, is probably the thing that compelled us to start playing Overwatch in the first place way back in 2016. And it's what I did as well. I fell in love with playing Lucio because I absolutely loved his idea. His utility is just amazing. You get speed boost, which at that point was only unique to him, and you get area of effect healing, which at that point also I think was unique to him as well. No one else could do it like him. So the idea of being both lethal in attack with his sonic blaster that does like 20 damage per orb, which is still a pretty high amount of damage, was just utterly fascinating to me. I was helping the team and I was doing insane amounts of damage. And then you realize all these characters just have so many compelling kits that I think in on paper and playing it like that first like couple months you play Overwatch, it's probably the most fun that you'll play with any hero shooter you've ever played. The moment the glass starts to crack and you've played a bit too much, or more likely, you start playing comp, that's when the game starts falling apart. It's a bit like how the reason why I don't really get into competitive Pokemon much. Like, there's like 1,000 Pokemon now, but in the competitive scene, there's only like 15. And it's the same in Overwatch. It's really frustrating. I really love playing a character like Torbjorn or Hanzo, and constantly my team would start playing poorly in order to get at me because I was playing a character I enjoyed playing.
We're gonna rock this game, guys.
Oh, yes, we are. Maybe you shouldn't play Hanzo then.
We're all good with this. Everyone's good with this when they play Overwatch. You'll play a character that doesn't work either with their comp or you're just not playing well with. You won't switch because you either want to prove yourself or you paid for the game. I can play who the fuck I want. Even though the whole idea behind competitive Overwatch is playing who you probably should play in the correct scenario. Human nature doesn't work that way, and we're all good with this because we've all done it, and we end up losing games because of it, and it becomes a frustrating experience. Overwatch is probably the game where, more than anything, where you could probably blame your teammates for playing badly, and you're probably right most of the time. I think if you've never played it, I would say the first couple months you play it, it's probably going to be the best game you've played in a very long time. And I've got more than 1,000 hours on it to prove that. But that was a monologue and a half. Let's go to, I think, childhood game. I think by this we interpret like this is probably one of the first video games you play, and when you think about your childhood, this is the game you think about the most. I would put Pokemon here, but since I'm playing Pokemon now in the modern day, I don't really classify as a childhood game. It's a game I've been playing since childhood, but I still play it now. If I'm talking about a game that I played as a kid and it's pretty much just relegated to my childhood and I don't really play it now, unless I want to go back and enjoy it every now and again for the nostalgia trip. So if I'm thinking about it like that, then I think it has to be Time Splitters 2. This is a game that I spent more hours than I could probably count on playing with my siblings. The multiplayer modes in that game, ranging from like team deathmatch to literal tag. There's a mode called flame tag where someone is on fire and you have to like touch someone else to pass the fire to them. There's a mode called virus, which was similar, but like if you tag someone, they also become flamed. There's a mode called monkey assistant where the people in like the bottom 2 spots, a bunch of monkeys come to a cavalry charge. It goes, bunch of monkeys spawn in and kill people for you, and you get any kills that they get. And the map creation in that game as well. So many fucking games that we played, and we had 4 controllers, well 3 actually. We had 4 like later on, but we had 3. So 4 of our siblings, one of them would always have to pass it on. And of course, since I was the oldest sibling of the 4, it meant that I always kept playing because everyone else sucked at video games. So I constantly played hours and hours and hours of this. I think the best mode we ended up playing was there's a map called Ice Station, which is just basically there's like one ice station in the middle of the map. The rest of the map is just like open ice tundra, and we would use homing launchers, which would home in on you if you aimed at them for a bit. And the one trick with the homing launchers is that if there was a rocket chasing you like this, you could sidestep it, and then it would just go around you in circles like that over and over and over again. So what we'd do, we would literally just boot up a game of 2 of us, and we would fire a rocket and see how many times can you like go past it and have it circle around you again. How many circles could you do before you ended up getting caught when you were trying to pass? So that's just one memory of plenty that I have with this game, and I wish I could go back sometimes. Let's get another easy one out of the way. I don't think I need to speak too much about this because I think this is a game that's near and dear to like almost everyone's heart. You guys probably more so, because I imagine a bunch of you guys probably play this game as like your childhood game, whereas with me, I played this game like in my adulthood, so I don't really have too many nostalgic memories, but I have memories nonetheless. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it has to be Minecraft without a doubt. It's just far too relaxing. What can you say about Minecraft that hasn't been said? What's probably your best childhood memory when it comes to Minecraft? What comes to mind? Playing with my brother on shitty laptops trying to summon Herobrine. Do you know what it is, right? Herobrine seems like one of those things to me where like I 100% see myself doing that to my siblings, or my older brother doing it to me if we played Minecraft when we were kids. That's why I love Herobrine. Like when I watch Herobrine videos like on YouTube and stuff, it's so nostalgic.
Please!
What?
He's here! I found him!
Where's he at? Where's he at?
He's opening this door!
I'm getting like nostalgic for memories I've never had because like I could definitely see myself doing this to myself. I love shit like that because like those are the things that like only like children could come up with, you know? Like it's like when it came to Pokemon, the whole like, oh, do you know like that truck next to the SSN, that truck that no one is supposed to see? Mew's in there. You know, the secret Pokemon Mew, that's how you get it. Like one person says it and it circulates like I love shit like that. Like shit like that is why I love video games, honestly. I didn't really get to Minecraft until high school. Playing with close friends, it gave me faith in humanity again. I'm glad, honestly. It's really good. I haven't played enough of it, sadly. You should, silly. It's so good. Playing Xbox 360 and suffering? Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. The first day I got Xbox Live and joined my friends' world and seeing all the huge stuff he built. Fucking A, bro. I remember playing on Xbox 360. Me and my friends would make Star Wars ships on Super Flat. Fuck. I never played Super Flat, really, to be honest, but I guess that'd be a good reason to play it. Yeah, I think it has to be Minecraft. It's my relaxing game. Stressful game? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I actually really love this game, but there's a reason I play it like for like 1 month a year. And I don't play it anymore. And of course, that's Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege. This is probably one of the most intricate tactical shooters I've ever played in my life.
Kill him. Do it.
What?
Especially with all the abilities and stuff that's in this game. I played it for like 100 hours before I even started to see any good progress. And even then, I'm still not even that good at it. It's a game where you have to play it constantly in order to keep track of how much it gets updated. You need to be so alert every single second you play the game. And the worst part is, like I said, I have probably 400 hours of Rainbow Six. And the next time I play it, I'm probably gonna get killed in a way that I've never seen before. I'm gonna pull out the notebook. You actually do, honestly. You actually do. With the new characters that get released as well, I have to like literally look up the fucking wiki page just to see what the fuck they do. Just so I know what I'm countering. Me getting a triple kill in Call of Duty, satisfaction like a 2 out of 10, right? Me squad wiping someone on Apex, that's like a 6, right? Clutch ulting a game in overtime on Overwatch, that's like a fucking 8. Me doing like a 1v4 with Montagna on attack, that's like 11, bro. I've like gained years on my life every time I've 1v4 as Montagna on Rainbow Six, honestly.
I know he jumped over, never mind. Fucking bitch.
Fucking hell. Don't know what I can do here, guys.
Oh! Yes! Yes! Come on!
You know, I played Rainbow Six. Montagna was my go-to. He has such a unique and like fantastic playstyle. I fucking love it. Knowing that like someone sees me and they're just like, fuck, it's a Monty. That's like enough to give me life. So like Montagna can fully block a doorway, by the way, right? So I'll literally be like, Zach, there's a guy on the stairs on the left. I'm pretending I don't see him. Balabai's behind the desk again.
Behind, Bandit's,
Nice. Those moments where we just fucking go like Ghost Recon, like fucking SEAL Team 6, fucking SAS team, you know what I'm saying? Those are the moments you live for when you play Rainbow Six. But fuck my life, it's so stressful. Best art style, I think this is another easy one as well. It's come up quite a few times, so I'm going with a relatively safe hit here. I fucking love Hades. Hades is so good. Hades is so fucking good, man. I'm not gonna elaborate much. I fucking love it. Have not played but want to. I could probably just look at my list, to be honest. I'm gonna go on my 2023 list to see the game that like I want to play the most I haven't touched yet. I think it's pretty obvious now that I think about it. There's one that stands out. Red Dead Redemption. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this game. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it this year. It's on the list, so it's not even a when are you gonna play it? I'm gonna play it. It's on the list. It's gonna happen this year. I don't have a guilty pleasure game. I think that one might stay empty because there's not a game I feel bad about. But I don't feel. I'm too old. I'm too old to be feeling bad about playing video games. Okay, I'm too old for that. Yeah, but I haven't played Honey Pot though. I actually want to play it though. That's the thing. Is there a game even I streamed that I like felt bad about playing? Apex? No, it's not Apex. Shut up. Oh my god, Apex is fucking great. Okay, should feel good about 500. Apex is great. Shut up. You guys are actually just capping. I think favorite series has to be easy, right? Such a safe pick, but like you can't disagree with me. I think I have to put Pokemon in there as well. I think it's gonna be a two-way tie for this one. There's no way I make an About You video games without like referencing like Pokemon. Pokemon will forever hold an absolute vice grip over my childhood, and I both love and hate. Apex is so fun. Shut up, Bobo. You're actually just capping so hard, bro. Yeah, I think it has to be those two. I think that's pretty obvious. I've spoken unendingly about Pokemon, and Mario is just like with games like Galaxy, 64, Odyssey, 3D World, Bowser's Fury, like you can't deny Mario's like got some amazing quality. So for favorite boss fight, I'm just gonna go with the one. Again, I think like this one is subject to change, but I think it's obvious, isn't it? I'm quite confident that Sans is probably my favorite boss fight in any video game. So just to clarify, I played Undertale on a PS Vita, right? And I would spend an hour trying to fight him every night for 2.5 weeks.
You sure know how to swing that book around, huh? How about we chill out, you put your weapon down, and I'll make the next bit a lot easier for me. Well, it was worth a shot.
and it was like 2 in the morning when I finally beat him. I ended up having a very muffled scream as I screamed in victory into my pillow because I didn't want to wake anyone up. Mine's either Spantum Neo or the final boss fight from Dream Team. I'd say the final boss fight from Uncharted 2 and final boss fight from BAS makes honorable mention to them too. But yeah, I think it has to be that. I'm still stuck on you love but everyone hates, right? Can I put Apex there? Because like all you motherfuckers in chat hating on Apex so much for like no reason. You know, I actually know best story now. Probably Super Seducer too. It might be.
I don't know what to pick. I mean, all these sound good to me. I think I'm gonna go with tell her that if she doesn't have sex with you, she won't ever see her family again.
But Celeste, like, when I end up reading like some reviews for Celeste, right? Because like I usually like to read reviews after I'm done playing a game. I ended up seeing some people saying like the story felt kind of like ham-fisted or it didn't really relate to them. And I'm like, I actually feel really sorry for you. I played Celeste at a time where like the main character was kind of going through what like I was going through to a certain extent. The other character as well is the other character. I forgot his name. You know the other gentleman you meet, Theo. Sorry, that's the name. I was about to say Tom, but Theo. I think like between both of those characters, like that, I saw so much of myself in them, and I think seeing parts of me from the outside looking in was like so illuminating that it helped me like overcome a lot of the mental hang-ups I had in my life. So if anything, Celeste is pretty good for that, to be honest. It's a game I always come back to. Game? Can I do like a series? I always consistently come back to whatever Smash game is out at the time. I could like ditch it for like months, but I always come back to playing Smash. Can I do a series in there? I'm gonna put it in. It's my list. Why am I asking you? Absolutely like jaded when it comes to Smash Ultimate, but I always come back to it. No, it's my list. True. Smash Ultimate is a stand for Smash in general because it doesn't matter. Like I could go months without playing a Smash game, the Smash game that's out, but I always come back to it, whether it was Melee, Brawl, 4, or Ultimate, but I just put Ultimate in there for the sake of it. No, I always get the itch to Falcon Punch some people in quick play. It doesn't last long. I scratch it very quickly, but it's there nonetheless. Favorite protagonist though. A lot of protagonists from games I've played are just kind of like stand-ins for you. It's like what, Pokemon, Mario's like, wahoo, remember me? Like, he's not really a character, is he? So I'm just trying to think protagonists. I'm just trying to think like all the video games I've played. Sonic?
Thanks, Big Blue. That's the first time I've ever been stolen.
Like, he's chill like that. My favorite? I don't know, man. Kind of a bit hesitant. Link is literally me for real. I run around breaking pottery. I mean, you like, don't pretend. You would if you could, right? You would if you could. I'm trying to think. What games have I played where I really like the protagonist? The obvious one, which is The Last of Us. I love Ellie and Joel. I'm like hesitant to put that there because recency bias, you know? How people put boyfriend in FNF, he would. Walter White? Frog Detective. To be fair, I actually really love Frog Detective. Red is not a character though. He's not a character. Come on. That's what I mean. Like, Pokemon motherfuckers will be like, yeah, Red was my favorite character, and Red just be like, he's not a character. Motherfucker, he's not a character. But fuck my life. I just can't think of any good protagonists. I really can't. The protagonist from Bioshock? But like, he only works because of that villain. I haven't played Far Cry, so I can't really do that. L.A. Noire? Protagonist from there? I don't really like him that much either. Cole Phelps, he's okay. Any COD campaigns you're really into? All of them are silent protagonists though. Like the only one I could think of that was at least interesting was...
You want the numbers, Mason. That's all we've ever wanted.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean from Black Ops? But even he wasn't that interesting. My favorite Overwatch character. I mean, would they count as a protagonist though? Like, they count just a character in a multiplayer game. I'm trying to think from a game I've played from a story. Do you know what I mean? 26 best video games of all time. Okay. Sonic. 2B, I've never played Nier. Aloy, I've never played Horizon. Bayonetta, I've never played Bayonetta. Marcus Phoenix, I've never played Gears of War. Never played Half-Life. Never played Max Payne. Never played Resident Evil. Oh, there's so many games that I haven't fucking played. Samus is like a... Like, she's like a... She has like literally one line of dialogue in Metroid Dread. Master Chief? No, he doesn't count. He's silent. Cloud, he's edgy. Nathan Drake. I guess that's a good one. That's a good shout. I actually really like Nathan. Nathan in the maybe pile as well, along with Ellie Joel. Pit from Kid Icarus Uprising. Ooh, Pit is a good shout as well, actually. From Kid Icarus Uprising. But I don't know if he's my favorite one. But he makes the shortlist, I'll say. Is recency bias going to win the day? Gregory? Vanessa? Oh, Material Girl. It's gotta be like Ellie Joel, isn't it? I think it has to be. Recency bias be damned, okay? I'm going with it from Ellie and Joel. Whoa, hey, Editor Musty here. You might have heard me mention that I was hesitant to put The Last of Us in there because of recency bias. I'd played the game just 1 week ago, so that's how recent we're talking. 10 years later, sure, but I finally did end up playing it. Since I'd only had played it a week ago, I didn't really feel the need to explain what exactly I liked about them in the stream, so I'll do that right now real quick. I won't be giving any spoilers just in case you're watching the show or playing the game just now. I'll be talking about the prologue, so I will be spoiling spoiling that, but that's like the first hour of the game. If you're just going to take my word for it that Ellie and Joel are fantastic protagonists, then you can skip to the next section of the video. Having played The Last of Us, I think my favorite kind of characters in media now are the ones where you might not necessarily 100% agree with what they're doing, but because of who they've established they are, you can understand why they've done this. I feel like that's exactly how I feel about Joel throughout the entire story. At the start of the apocalypse, he witnesses his own daughter die. The only thing he's ever cared about on this planet. If he wasn't the stoic and determined character he's shown to be, he probably would have just ended it all right as his daughter died. He keeps living, but only really for the next day. And then eventually you meet Ellie. Ellie was just supposed to be another job for him. He was supposed to escort Ellie to a location, and that'd be it. Parallels are really obvious right from the outset. You know, Ellie's like a young kid, not too older than Joel's daughter when she died. You know, as a player, you kind of intuitively know that eventually these two are going to get along. I mean, they're both sharing the box art together, right? The throughout the game, their personalities clash enough. They get into enough conflicts and drama. They even separate for good chunks of it as well, just so they really truly realize that they work better as a team. Just like Joel, when I first met Ellie, I didn't really give a shit. She was sassy, she was snarky, she was everything I hate about teenagers. But in the end of the game, I would have leveled entire continents to make sure she was safe. Good job, Naughty Dog. You made a masterpiece. There we go. Okay. Soundtrack? I'm stuck between three choices. Can we like time out Brad for like 2 seconds? He's like slandering me. Okay, it's nice when you're jumping down and the music plays. That's really nice. Okay, choice number one. I don't need to elaborate, but I'm going to. Chemical Plant just kicks in like. And then you get fucking lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action. Flying Barry has you all like. And then fucking tabloid juggin, that fucking drill sound. It's good. I'll leave it. Second game, Sonic again. Yeah, Sonic Rush on the Nintendo DS. Fuck my shit up, fam. I still listen to this like. JJ Rocket comes in. And then you've got fucking Wrapped in Black as well. Blame, too strong. Blame, too strong. Blame. As you can tell, this is my motivational song, you know? When I'm feeling weak and white, I feel back and strong. This song probably has one of my favorite pieces of video game music related trivia on planet Earth. Do you know the parts where it goes too black, too strong, right? And the guy who composed this took that sample from a speech by Black's rights activist Malcolm X from the 60s. He was talking about when you have...
You got some coffee that's too black, which means it's too strong. What you do, you integrate it with cream.
He was talking about, in order to weaken the power of the black man in America, they're trying to integrate us with the white folk. Take that statement for what it is. But I like the fact that a Japanese man 40 years later was like... Malcolm, I didn't know you were fire, fam. And then my favorite part here, the way the bass, the bass. Guitar. Probably my favorite one in the whole game, but also comes with a very interesting piece of trivia to go with it. So it's just Sonic Mania, Sonic Rush, and of course I think some of you guys guessed the third one, which is wake up, get out there is like just the motivation. JonTron tweeted on Twitter that it's really weird that his copy of the Persona 5 soundtrack came with a whole game as well. I think I agree with that sentiment.
What could it mean to wake you? What does it all mean? Can we make a difference? Can we really make that difference? If we don't break it here,
wake up, get out there.
Reach your voice, I guess like yours.
And there's just something about this singer that just like hits my ears the right way. She's singing in English despite it being very clear that English isn't her first language. So you have a unique singing voice to accompany such amazing music to go with it. It's so great, honestly. Rivers in the desert.
A river in a dry land, the last is in a lost head.
When the hope of new beginnings burned our feet.
Now we needed a heartbeat for demons.
Beneath the mask, where have we been?
Been searching all along. Confessing twilight.
Where have you been, chat? Where have you been? I am a shapeshifter. So even if you didn't like it at first, you hear it so much, it just ends up growing on you.
Show me your true form.
True and real, by the way.
Here we go, don't you know my art.
And if you look to the horizon, not a cloud, but then stormy weather's got you cold.
Seems like it crept up out of nowhere, all around. It was not quite what you foretold. You never see it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for us.
Excuse me, sorry guys, I don't mean to. Sir, this is mids. How long, chat? How long? How long are we thinking? We'll do collective punishment, chat. What are you thinking? A year? Forever? Infinite? Follow age? Okay, and then he tries to use his follow age to, like, guilt me into keeping him here. I'm gonna say 25 minutes, I think, is a fair punishment. All right, think about what you've done. Just walking up to people in the wedding and saying this is mid. You just come along and asking the DJ, hey DJ, can you play? Like, it's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? What are you doing? All right, I didn't say Splatoon made my shortlist, did I? What do you think about the Undertale Delta Ring soundtrack? They're fantastic. If I, someone said like, Undertale's like 4th, it probably is 4th, to be honest. Undertale is like 4th. Even if the rest of the soundtrack was shit, right? Do you know which one solo carries? Asgore carries. Toby Fox has this thing where like it starts off kind of like with like maybe 1 or 2 instruments, and then everyone just kind of fucking bursts in, like crashes in through the window. Like Asgore does it, like. Toby Fox has designed one track. Oh, I've not heard it yet. Which one is it? And then in the post game, you get to the battle town, and you're just like, oh, that's Toby. Okay, this is the Toby Fox one. You know, that's like a Toby Fox staple. I don't mean to say it's bad. I just pointed it out. All right, it's good. It's good. I love it. I actually love it for context. I fucking love this shit. Right? The choir that comes in, and then he does the thing again. Chat. He does the thing again. Hang on. Carries. Even if the rest of the track was horrid, this would solo carry. What's the solo carry for you? Someone said Spider Dance. Spider Dance is good. I love Spider Dance. I just want the bit. I want the bit. Where's the bit? Is it here? By Glamour. Oh yes. And then wait for the bit, guys. The bit we're all waiting for, aren't we? Listen to the OST, the rest of it, you can do it in your own time, right? I have to pick one. I'm not gonna do more than one. If I had to pick one right now, I think Rush comes a close second. I think Persona comes a close third, and Undertale comes a close fourth. Honestly, I think they're all fantastic. Like, they're all fantastic. Favorite ending? Let's see. I would look up top video game endings, but like, aren't I gonna get a bunch of like spoilers for like games? Spoiled. Portal 2's there. Hades' true ending. Uncharted 4 actually had a good ending. Nier Automata, Metroid. Oh, bruv. Oh my god, Spec Ops The Line. I completely forgot about that game. That game had a fucking great ending. Play this on the PlayStation 3. I don't think any of you guys are gonna play this game, so I'm just gonna spoil it. In Dubai, there was a massive sandstorm that like engulfed basically the whole city. A American battalion, the 33rd Battalion, were sent to investigate.
This is Colonel John Conrad, United States Army. Evacuation of Dubai ended in complete failure.
So you are just 3 soldiers. So you, Captain Walker, and your two guys. You're sent on a mission just to find out what's going on.
All right, remember, this place has been designated a no man's land, which means we're not supposed to be here, so let's do this by the books, okay?
But not only do you find survivors, who, unsurprisingly, are not too happy to see American soldiers, but then you find out some of your fellow men have been captured and taken to an area in a hostage situation. And once you end up dealing with that, Walker makes the executive decision.
Got multiple tracks headed north.
Then we follow him.
Not to argue, but this ain't exactly within our mission parameters.
Yeah, well, our mission went from recon to rescue the minute we found U.S. soldiers butchered.
You trace signals, follow tracks, find out, as a shock to no one, the CIA are involved.
I'm not about to shoot a U.S. soldier, Lugo.
Chasing down some
Shit! Return fire!
Well, they're soldiers!
They will kill us if we don't! Now open fire!
CIA shooting your own? It seems a bit strange for your allies who start to doubt.
We need to keep moving before more soldiers show up.
You mean more American soldiers?
Rogue soldiers. We need to find John Conrad.
How's that help? You just said the 33rd were rogue.
The 33rd may be hostile, but I guarantee the Colonel isn't part of it.
How can you be sure?
Because I know the man. Now get that open.
Not a problem.
And from there, the motivation's clear. You gotta find John Conrad and figure out what the hell is going on in Dubai. It's poised this way not just for you, the player, but also for Captain Walker. He talks glowingly about John Conrad's achievements all around the world, winning medal after medal and accolade after accolade.
The facts don't lie. The man's a fucking hero.
Turning around and going home for both Lugo and Adams makes perfect sense, but for you, the player, and for Captain Walker, it doesn't. Walker's motivations only grow even stronger when he recognizes some of John Conrad's personal men dead on the ground and a walkie-talkie next to them. He picks it up, and who answers? None other than John Conrad himself.
Colonel, I'm Captain Walker.
Captain Walker.
With John Conrad talking in your ear the whole game, you press on and on, even in the face of discontent and even mutiny amongst your squad.
You're the one who's fine, just sitting back, waiting for things to unfuck themselves. You think I like watching these people die, huh?
You press on, even after you mistakenly killed dozens of civilians you thought were captured.
Where'd they come from? There's no camp here.
You press on, even after you're manipulated by the CIA to destroy the last of Dubai's water supply, marking every survivor for death by dehydration.
In 4 days, this city will begin dying of thirst. You did this, not me.
You still press on. Even you, the player, aren't safe. During the loading screens, when changing levels, or when you die and have to restart, the game makes you question yourself. Even after failing an evacuation attempt yourself, getting not just one, but both of your companions killed, you still press on. All to find the answer you've been waiting for, to find John Conrad himself. And that's where the ending cutscene starts. You go to the top floor of the tallest tower of Dubai to confront the man himself. The situation was foobar before Captain Walker got here, but surely he can redeem himself if he just manages to finally duke it out, to confront the villainous, charismatic leader behind all of this mess. He turns the chair that Conrad is sitting on, only to find the skeletal remains of the man himself. And from the looks of the decaying corpse, it looks like he's been dead for a long time. He's managed to avoid every single bit of his brain telling him to turn back and go home, but with the face of John Conrad being dead, he's hit a brick wall. His subconscious manifests in a live version of John Conrad to talk to him.
Reports of my survival have been greatly exaggerated.
It's through this conversation you find out that the walkie-talkie that Captain Walker picked up early in the game, it wasn't even plugged in. It was just all in his head, made as a ploy to justify it to himself to keep on going.
This isn't my fault. It takes a strong man to deny what's right in front of him. And if the truth is undeniable, you create your own.
What the hell happened? I don't know, he just stopped moving. Walker, snap out of it.
I get it. We have to choose.
The truth, Walker, is that you're here because you wanted to feel like something you're not. A hero.
In the face of this reality, Walker has nothing. He's left rambling to himself. We tried to help. We tried to save you. His weak cry is useless when it's time to face the music. And although there are multiple endings at this point, there's only one that seems the most poetic.
I'm going to count to 5, then I'm pulling the trigger.
You're not real. This is all in my head.
Are you sure? Maybe it's in mine. 1.
No. Everything. All this. It was your fault.
That's what you believe, then shoot me. Is this really what you want, Walker? So be it. 5!
Probably no point playing it now that I've told you the story because the combat really isn't that memorable. But good game. Very good game, actually. I really liked it. I'm still thinking about you love but everyone hates. I'm telling you, there is no game. Like, if I love a game, most people tend to like it. I'm not putting Apex in there, man. Fuck it, I'm not putting Apex in there. That's crazy. Only because I can't think of anything else. That's the only reason I'm doing this. Fuck you, chat. This is your Conrad moment, Mr. Shut up. Don't use Spec Ops The Line dialogue against me, alright? Again to the Big Kahuna. My favorite video game of all time. Don't look it up. It has to be your pick. Do you think so? Not from what everyone... you know what? Fair. I'm not looking up. Let's just think. From my childhood. Okay, you got PS1, Crash Bandicoot, Rayman, Pokemon. Got those 2D Marios. GameCube, you got Melee, you got Double Dash, you got Time Splitters. Game Boy Advance, you got Superstar Saga. I'm gonna write some of these down. I would count Overwatch again. Since I doubled up on Overwatch, I'd happily put that again. Odyssey, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. Is that what I can think of right now? All right, let me cross them off one by one. Let's go from the least likely. Say Slay the Spire. I fucking love Slay the Spire, but I don't think it's my favorite game of all time. Strikers Charged. I love Strikers Charged, but I wouldn't put that in there neither. Superstar Saga or BIS, one of the two. I think they can stay. Hades, Celeste. I love both of them, but I don't think they're my favorite game of all time neither. Overwatch, I adore you, Overwatch, but not quite. Sonic Adventure, I have far more nostalgic memories than I'd like to care for Sonic Adventure, but I don't think I could put my favorite. So I'm left with this. I'm left with my short list of 5. Pokemon's already my favorite series, and I don't think any of the games in the series are probably my favorite of all time. I fucking love Pokemon, but the way I do this is, which game would you rather play? So right now, which game would I rather play over each other? Okay, let's think about it like that. I love Mario Galaxy. I think that's the goal. BAS. Right now, if you sat me in a room and put either of these 3 games in front of me, I'm probably replaying them again 100% of the time. Breath of the Wild is really fucking good. Like, it's an absolutely phenomenal experience that I genuinely feel sorry for people who say they couldn't get into it. Like, when Luke tells me he couldn't get into Breath of the Wild, I genuinely feel sorry for him, because it's such a fantastic game. And I hate the fans. I hate the fans see any grassy field equals Breath of the Wild vibes. But of course, I'm at the point now where I don't let the fans ruin my enjoyment of a game, because that would be childish. Mario Odyssey takes everything that makes Mario fantastic and puts it in such a fun and unique package. Odyssey did kind of what Breath of the Wild does. Breath of the Wild was so good, I don't want to play any other Zelda game again. Honestly, I don't want to play any other part of Zelda game, because I want to have the same level of freedom and intuitive gameplay that I would in Breath of the Wild. Mario Odyssey is so good that it doesn't shun the past Mario games, but like, fuck my life, it's so good. The movement is fantastic, the areas are fascinating, the missions are varied, like, it's so good. And then BIS, like, the gameplay in that, the humor, the story, the Bowser going big mode, you get to play as Bowser. Like, this game has like so much going. It's like the perfect Mario game in so many ways. It has so many factors going for it. I'm having a tough time. I'm having a tough time with these 3. The music is great. The music in either of these are fantastic, honestly. Like, when it comes to soundtracks, they're all fantastic. I'm not talking about the soundtrack, because they're all fucking amazing. And Breath of the Wild doesn't really have much of a soundtrack, but when the music does kick in, it always feels good. Okay, I don't want to sit here thinking about this for too long. Gun to my head, family's on the plane, it's about to crash. Everything I love dear is on the plane right now with hostages that are going to crash into in the middle of an ocean, never to be found again. It'll be another missing flight. If you're talking about right now, and I had to pick something, I'm going Breath of the Wild. I'm going Breath of the Wild. Ask me on a different day, I'm giving you a different game. I fucking love all 3 of these games so fucking much. And there's even more that I probably don't remember right now. And even the other games on my shortlist that were there, I didn't think of. And if you gave me like an extra couple hours to think of more games, I probably would have given you more amazing, phenomenal video games that makes gaming just the amazing hobby it is. But right now, if you're asking me, Breath of the Wild. And that's my list. What do you think about this, chat? You like it? Tons of hours played. Call of Duty series as a whole, but Black Ops 2 specifically, and Overwatch. Guilty pleasure. I laugh at the face of anyone having a guilty pleasure. Game you always come back to is the Smash series. I guess at the point is Smash Ultimate. Stressful game. Rainbow Six Siege. It stresses me more than anything I've ever known. Relaxing. Minecraft. You can't go wrong with it. Childhood game is Time Splitters 2. I have so many memories of that game. Instead of boring you chat with it, I'll bore my grandkids someday. Favorite boss fight, Sans. The satisfaction I got from beating him was fantastic. The favorite ending is Spec Ops: The Line. The subversion of expectations from every other milsim I played at that point was phenomenal, and it probably like altered my brain chemistry in a way I'm never going to feel again. Hades has such a unique and fantastic art style. You hate what everyone loves. It has to be Dead by Daylight. You love what everyone hates. I actually couldn't think of a game, but I just put Apex Legends because chat was trolling me. So good job, chat. That's yours. Red Dead Redemption is the game I've not played but want to, and I'm going to play this year. Best story, Celeste. It hit me at a time where I needed to see the characters go through what they did, so I could see it from the outside looking in and realize that maybe life isn't as difficult as I thought it was. Maybe it is whatever I make of it. Favorite villain is Handsome Jack. He's the perfect mixture of threatening, funny, charismatic, and fantastic all round as a villain. Favorite protagonists, Ellie and Joel. There hasn't been a game where I've had a protagonist that I've understood, related to, and been able to enjoy as much as that game. Soundtrack is Sonic Mania. It's a close toss-up between like 7 games, but if I had to ask one right now, it has to be that. Between Pokemon and Mario, you have some of the best games that video games ever made, so it has to be that. And the favorite video game of all time, right now, if you ask me right now, Breath of the Wild. And there you have it, my complete list. Anyone that we can relate to. Is Time Splitters to your childhood game? Did you have a Call of Duty phase in your teenage youth? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to join the Discord and fill your list out too. I'll be reacting to them in the Discord and on stream at some point for sure. Make sure you leave a like on the video. And until the next one, there's your love.